Welcome to Talk About the Passion. And this is going to be the first time I do one of these unboxing videos, which is apparently a thing people like to do. And I got this new 7 Seconds New Wind reissue from Trust Records today in the mail, which is pretty exciting. And yeah, I haven't looked at it yet, so let's open it. I have this cheese knife. I work with box cutters all day, so this fucking table. So this, so I guess we're gonna have to be careful because this table is wobbly. So to switch it up a little, I figured I'd use a cheese knife, and then this also lets you know that I dabble in expensive cheeses. So here's what we get. Guy. So it's a double. This is a seaweed green vinyl, limited to 250. And if you don't know the story of this, the album's been remastered by Michael Graves. And then there's the second album here is called Change in My Head, which is another swipe at New Wind by Ian MacKaye. Includes 2 other songs from the 1985 DC session, Compro and Change in My Head, mixed by Ian and Don Zientara at Inner Ear in 2023. I've listened to one of these newer songs on here, but I haven't listened to the mix of the original record yet. So I'm excited to hear that. Some people aren't fans of when artists do that, but it's cool when these bands that we've loved as kids do this, because this kind of thing happens with jazz and hard rock and stuff. So when a label like Trust does this nice packaging like this, which they've done in all their releases, it's nice. It's nice to see the respect and oh, look at this. So the first thing I see when I open this is, so this is the second album, The Change in My Head. And if you follow my video channel, you'll know I just recently did an episode on Minor Threat Salad Days. So that's kind of funny. I've never seen this picture in my life. There's all the lyrics. And I guess the track listing is a little different. Yeah, which I can see, because The Night Away is the last song on this version, and New Wind is the first song. And then the inner sleeve has all these little 7s. And this is called Coke Bottle Clear Vinyl, which is it's one of my favorites when labels do that. I'm outside, so I don't know if I'm I mumble, so I apologize for that. If you're going, what the fuck, what is this guy saying? Just fucking show us the goddamn record. And this is kind of cool on here too. Trademark of quality, like that. You got Kevin Marvelli right there staring at you. So then the album, which I've always been up and down about this album cover. I just thought it was kind of weird, but we won't get into that. But yeah, so there's a really nice book with this, with liner notes from none other than Mike Gitter, Boston native, who was responsible for a lot of Triple X fanzine, of course, and then putting together a lot of shows. And I always love this picture. Like, Kevin looks like the guy, like if your daughter came home with that guy, you'd be like, yeah, he's all right. He seems like a good guy. Seems positive. I don't know about the makeup under his eye. But yeah, so he, Mike Gitter was responsible for, Boston Hard, like a lot of stuff happening in Boston hardcore, including booking my band, Shattered Silence, with 7 Seconds around this era at TT the Bears in Cambridge, Mass. And that'll always remain one of my, favorite moments from, opening for a band. That and opening for Scream. So yeah, this is a really cool book that comes with this, and I'm excited to listen to this tonight. Yeah, I think that's a recreation of the original lyric sheet. And then this one is called Seaweed Green Vinyl, limited to 250. That is pretty cool. Yeah, so Trust Records, man. If you are a fan of hardcore music, everything they've put out has been like perfect quality. The SSD reissues, of course, and Circle Jerks, Aggression. They did the Aggression record. So yeah, I'm excited for this. And The New Wind, as you know, is the album that where they kind of switched it up, the sound a little. It's a little more melodic, but still the same lyrical content as always. Very personal and just positive stuff from Kevin. And yeah, so I'm gonna listen to this tonight, and then I'm going to continue this video and do a review portion of what I thought of the record. But I mean, I can see already that I'm gonna love it. So, and then I just need to figure out how to get this fucking thing back on here. Yeah, you don't want to watch me do that. So we'll just put that away and we'll deal with that another time, and you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so stay tuned, and I'm going to talk about this record after this. Thanks. So I've listened to these records. I listened to both tonight, and yeah, I mean, I already love this record, so I was extremely familiar with this. This is, one of my favorite albums of all time. I was really interested to hear the Ian MacKaye mix, and just how he tracked it, and yeah, I liked it. And the first thing I noticed too was, I thought, initially I was like, because it does sound significantly different. It doesn't have, it's not a wash and all that reverb with the huge drum sound and all that kind of thing. But I initially, literally into the first song, which is New Wind on here, I thought this almost sounds like a Right to Spring record in a way. And then lo and behold, in the liner notes, one of the first things I read here is Steve Youth talking about that being, them being, the Right to Spring record was also very important to me. Egg Hunt. The boys were listening to U2 as well as Buck Pets. When's the last time you heard the Buck Pets brought up? But yeah, I mean, I never understood the U2 comparison to 7 Seconds, at least on this record. Maybe on the next couple. But I always thought it sounded like a DC record, and I think Ian kind of makes it sound even more like a DC record. So yeah, it's good. It's a cool track sequence that he comes up with here. So yeah, it's definitely worth hearing. I still, I listened to that first, and then I listened to the original version with a new mix, or a new, I guess it's just mastered, remastered. Yeah, that sounds great. It's, this record is so, just the lyrics on this are so, for the time, like 1986, like a few people mentioned in the liner notes, there was a lot of chest thumping and that kind of stuff, and 7 Seconds is writing stuff like Man Enough to Care and Opinion of Feelings, which we already knew he had in him when he was writing songs like Not Just Boys Fun, and just how he is as a person. But yeah, so this record still sounds fresh to me today, and also in the liner notes they bring up the album cover, which is questionable. I never realized how much the Stern brothers, Sean Stern and Mark Stern, had to do with getting this record out. Sean Stern, right there. How do you do that? Yeah. So yeah, that's a Trust Records poster. So yeah, But yeah, and then they also bring up on the CD reissue of this that had that Colorblind Jam song, which I never knew the background of, and apparently it was just a jam in the studio that was never supposed to get out, and BYO decided to tack it on the end of the record. I think I've only heard that thing a couple times, and yeah, it is kind of silly. And actually, speaking of silly, I was kind of glad on the Ian mix of this that some of the like on Just One Day, there's that part in the end where there's kind of sort of like the outro, and there's all sorts of talking and backwards talking, and then there's like yeah. I'm kind of glad he took that stuff out of there. I always thought it like kind of it was kind of a serious album, so I always thought that it was kind of silly to have in there. But that's just my opinion, man. But yeah, so all in all, this is a great reissue. Again, Trust Records knocks it out of the park. And this will go great with the, I have the other two right here that they did. So these are also worth your time and money. So yeah, Trust Records, 7 Seconds, New Wind, A+.